With success and fame, celebrities tend to conceal that one part of themselves they deem embarrassing or inappropriate away from the public for fear of being criticized or losing their fan base. But if you know John Daly, you wouldn't have to be told that Daly is one such celebrity. The golfing cult hero is probably more famous off the greens than he is on the course. Be it his crazy and intriguing lifestyle, his famous anecdotes off the course, his hair, or his clothes, there's nothing conventional about Daly. One time, Daly got tired of his wife constantly nagging about his drinking and gambling habits, so he tossed $55,000 over the bridge. And that's not all. Bad Boy John Daly has lost so much on gambling that his losses are much more than some pro golfers earn in their lifetime on the PGA Tour. Why don't you stick around to the end to find out more about Daly's lifestyle? John Daly, also known as Long John due to his ability to hit long drives, is an American pro golfer who continues to show his amazing golf techniques through the PGA Tour Champions events. The chubby pro golfer has won major titles, including the Open at St. Andrews in 1995. In addition to Daly's wins on U.S. soil, the pro golfer has also won accredited professional events in Germany, South Korea, Swaziland, Canada, Turkey, South Africa, and Scotland. According to official stats kept since the 80s, John Daly became the first PGA Tour player in 1997 to average over 300 yards per drive over a full season. He replicated that same feat from 1998 to 2008 and was the only golfer to do so until 2003. John's last tour victory came in 2004 in San Diego, where he earned a 2-year playing exemption. Daly's career soon began to lose momentum after 2006, and he constantly had trouble making cuts and staying on tour. John primarily earned tour event entries through numerous sponsor invitations and past champion status. In 2016, John competed on the Tour Champions circuit. In 2017, he won the Insperity Invitational. Daly won 2 major golf championships, but was never selected for the Ryder Cup since its inception in 1927. And to date, he remains the only man from the United States or Europe not to feature in the Cup despite his major championship victories. Some call him Wild Thing for his wild lifestyle. Others, JD, which are the initials of his name. He earned the moniker Big John due to his appearance and status, while others call him the Lion, which is still a reflection of his life on and off the course. Whichever name you choose to call him, you absolutely wouldn't be wrong, because his character, penchant for smoking, drinking, gambling, and even his attitude toward shopping for new wives wouldn't make you feel guilty. But before we dive into his addictions and crazy lifestyle, how did John Daly become Long John? John Daly was born on April 28, 1966, in Carmichael, California, to Jim and Lou Daly. Jim worked in industrial plants as a construction worker, while Lou was a homemaker. John came from a middle-class family, and throughout his childhood, they moved around various small towns across the southern states. Jim worked night shifts and frequently traveled significant distances between home and work. When John was 4, the family moved to Dardanelle, Arkansas, and the following year, he began to play golf at Bay Ridge Boat. John greatly admired Jack Nicklaus, who was the dominant professional golfer at the time. At 13, John won the Spring Club Championship at the Lake of the Woods golf course in Locust Grove. He defeated all the male members comprised of adults, and this didn't go down well with the club, so they placed a ban on juniors from competing in future Open Club competitions. Daly proceeded to Helios Catholic High School in Jefferson City, Missouri, when he was in grade 10 and was a member of the school's golf team and junior member of the Jefferson City Country Club. In 1983, Daly won the Missouri State Amateur Championship. The following year, he won the Arkansas State Amateur Championship. Daly soon met Rick Ross, a golf coach who improved his golf techniques. His swings were so good that he got into the University of Arkansas on a golf scholarship. John qualified for the U.S. Open in 1986, but all that public attention brought forth his infrequent class attendance and drinking problems, which caused him to have a hostile relationship with Bill Woodley, his golf coach at the time. Daly dropped out of college and turned pro in 1987, and his first victory came in the Missouri Open. That was when he met his first sweetheart, Dale Crafton. The duo tied the knot the same year, but later divorced in 1992. In the 90s, his career sharply rose when he won the PGA Tour in 1991. Daly went on to win many other majors that decade, but his unhealthy lifestyle and drinking habits came catching up, and it was evident from his game. But how did his affection for alcohol begin? Back in his college days, Daly weighed 235 pounds, and his golf coach, Steve Lloyd, felt he was too big for the game, so he asked him to go shed some weight. John adopted the unusual diet of Jack Daniels and popcorn. Of course, he remarkably shed 70 pounds within 2.5 months, but he was also having appetite problems. So to curb it, he began smoking cigarettes, and soon he would take up to 2 packs a day. Aside from shedding weight, the whiskey somehow helped him win tours, and he became a raging alcoholic. Daly's love for drinks generally became well known in 2007 when he was spotted with tons of bottles of Diet Coke throughout the PGA Championship that year. Even Tiger Woods told ESPN that Daly told him personally that he had drunk 13 Diet Cokes in a day with no water. At first, Woods was stunned, but when he came to know John better, he realized it was his thing. In an interview with Graham Benzinger in 2016, Daly revealed that the taste of Coke is better than drinking water and that sometimes he goes days without tasting water. Daly said, "I used to drink 12 to 20 Diet Cokes a day. I would go to McDonald's 3 to 4 times daily. I hate water. I can't stand drinking it," Daly continued. "I also realized that if I play a tour drunk, I would win almost every week. But if drinking were his only vice, it probably would have been a lot better." John Daly is an avid gambler and doesn't just do it to win. He loves the rush that comes with the uncertainty of the outcome. When it comes to JD, there's no shortage of his gambling stories, but the most epic of all should be when he lost $1.65 million in 5 hours. You see, back in 2005, Daly lost to Woods in an epic 2-man playoff and won $750,000 from the prize money. And what did he do next? He went straight from the course to a Vegas casino where he sat down at a $5,000 slot machine. Although the rest, they say, is history, you definitely want to know the story. So, in the first 30 minutes, he lost $600,000. Instead of backing away, he took out another $600,000 from the casino's line of credit and blew it all up in 2 hours. And when you think about how much he could have done with that cash, you just get pissed off. Well, don't get angry. When you make that kind of cash, just don't blow it. With his bad habits getting out of hand, his then-wife Sherry Miller couldn't hold back anymore. She yelled at Daly, and in anger, he tossed over $55,000 he had just won in a casino over the bridge going over to Memphis from Arkansas. Although Sherry would later go back for the cash, JD felt she was being ungrateful, and as far as he was concerned, he was the one spending the money, and she had no right to complain. Call him annoying, but it's his money, he makes the rules. He would eventually put his addiction under control, but that wasn't until he figured out that he had lost about $98 million and won about $45 million gambling, totaling his loss to around $50 million. However, in 2020, JD shocked the golf world when he announced that he had bladder cancer. Although he underwent an operation and had it removed, he'll have to go for regular checkups in case it resurfaces. As a result of his deteriorating health, the Lion is now cutting back on his Diet Coke intake, smoking, and drinking. Of course, he has to. His drinking habit cost him a $10 million endorsement deal with Wilson in 1997 after he got drunk and trashed his hotel room and several other embarrassments. But quite frankly, Daly could only care less about the public's opinion of him. After all, he once said, "My mom has always told me to be honest no matter what. Even if you do the right or wrong things, tell the truth about yourself and don't bother about people's opinion about you." So, what do you make of John Daly and his lifestyle? Is he a good fit for the PGA? Talking about the PGA, you definitely want to click on this video showing on your screen to check out what pro golfers think about former PGA Tour player Phil Mickelson. We'll catch you in the next one.